Apples and sauce, bread and butter, Star Wars and canceled projects. All these things just naturally go together. More specifically right now, Star Wars video games. As we know, 5 years ago, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake was announced. It has now changed studios and has made no development as far as we've seen, and we're just left with the words of, it's still coming, it's still in development. And about 2 years ago, Respawn's first-person shooter game was also canceled, and it looks like the curse is going to continue with Star Wars Eclipse. Funny enough, this was also announced 5 years ago from the studio that made Detroit Become Human. And it looks like it's going to follow that same concept of action-adventure where your actions have consequences for the future of the game and how the story plays out. But that's not going to matter if the game doesn't come out, and it is not looking good for the game ever releasing right now. According to an article by Insider Gaming, which will be linked down in the description down below, development has become very slow on the remaining parts that still need to be finished of Star Wars Eclipse, and that a lot of the game is made, but there's still a big chunk of it that still needs to be made, and that allegedly it is years off from being completed. Which is kind of funny because the game has been in development for almost 5 years at this point as it is. So it needs another, 3 years maybe at the minimum, assuming it's going to get funded that long. Because here comes the other problem now. Quantum Dream is owned by NetEase right now, and Quantum Dream just had a game called Spellcasters, and allegedly this game is going to determine if Quantum Dream continues to get funded, and it looks like Spellcasters is flopping and is going to be a massive flop. And this is a problem, especially because NetEase is known for games that just print money. Marvel Rivals, Destiny Rising, all these mobile games, these gacha games. So they really have no reason to put all this money, all this time into Quantum Dream to continue on Star Wars Eclipse when they could just make another mobile game way faster, another gacha game way faster in half the time, and print probably 2 times the amount of money that Star Wars Eclipse is going to make. And it shouldn't be that surprising that single player games are now taking a backseat nowadays, especially with how much money microtransactions can print, but we still need single player games out on the market. And with a franchise as rich in lore as Star Wars, there should be so many single player games in Star Wars alone that feel different and unique from each other just because of the wide range that Star Wars has to offer, and yet we're stuck with either playing a Jedi or a bounty hunter almost every game. I mean, you look at Star Wars Outlaws, that game failed because its combat at first was really bad and it launched a ton of bugs. Wasn't necessarily the story's fault, it was predictable, but it still felt like Star Wars. But when you have a single player game that is reliant on the game actually working fully, not working properly, yeah, it's gonna flop because people hear it, and first impressions mean everything. It's like, okay, you're forced into stealth mode, and there's a lot of bugs. Well, I'm already turned off when I'm forced into stealth mode. I am not playing that game, but it has since changed where you could choose either guns blazing or stealth mode, but still, first impressions matter more than anything, and that's an example of it. And it looks like just with Star Wars projects in general, there's just a huge curse of them getting canceled. It's like they want to announce it as soon as the concept gets out there, like, hey guys, we have this awesome game, it takes place in this era, and you could play as so many different characters, and then radio silence for 5 years. Or, hey guys, this new movie's gonna come out, it's directed by award-winning director with award-winning actor, radio silence for 3 years and gets canceled. To me, it's almost like Disney is desperate to get something out there, to get some kind of home run, that they're like putting it out there, throwing the idea out there, and hopefully that it gets positive reception. But even if it does, there's still only like a 20% chance that the project is actually going to be fulfilled. I mean, if you look at all the canceled Star Wars projects, it is just ridiculous, especially when you're under a company like Disney. But with Star Wars video games, this issue just transcends studios, it transcends companies, because every single company, every single owner of Star Wars has a bunch of canceled Star Wars video games. I mean, look, we got Battlefront 3 canceled twice on us. Well, I guess it was never in development a second time, but I mean, it was supposed to be, the groundwork was there, and COVID really ruined anything to have the chance of happening. Star Wars 1313, Knights of the Old Republic 3, these are just some of the games that were really anticipated that just never came out. And if you look at all the canceled Star Wars games altogether, 36 total games have been canceled for Star Wars, and 2 of them are in immediate danger, are like very close to being canceled. And I feel like it takes away from games that are actually being released or are actually going to be released, because people just hear Star Wars project, Star Wars game, it's like, oh, this is gonna get canceled. canceled, and then it doesn't get canceled and keeps going, but ultimately along the way the hype is getting killed by the high likelihood of this game just never releasing in the first place. But hey, that's just Star Wars projects for you. Ultimately for Star Wars Eclipse, it's probably something I won't play. It's just not really my cup of tea. I prefer multiplayer. Knights of the Old Republic remake I definitely would check out because I never played the original ones and I don't really have an interest in playing the original ones, but I do have an interest in playing a remake. I'm familiar with all the lore, it's just I don't want to visit old games like that. I got too much other games going on that I have to play. But yeah, it just sucks to see these projects getting announced, people getting excited for these projects, and then them just getting canceled. And ultimately, I feel like it stains the brand of Star Wars as a whole, where it's like, alright, you're announcing these projects, but you're not going through with any of them. Like, something's going on eternally. There's some kind of curse that was placed on Star Wars where it's just, we're not allowed to get projects fulfilled. And it's very annoying. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Are you sad by this news? Do you not care? Please subscribe if you enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.